Alright, so obviously on the weekend we had three Group 1s at Epsom, the Oaks, the Coronation Cup, and the Derby. And it was a pretty interesting weekend of racing. Obviously the weather is the reason behind that interest, and the actual track itself was playing very strangely. There was a real like golden highway down the near side rail, and even in some races we saw them go up the inside, and they were basically running everywhere. No one really had a proper idea of where the good ground was. However, most races it was down the near side rail, so yeah, it was quite interesting. And after that first race where Nana's Shadow won in that sprint race, Shane Murphy said, "Oh, it's definitely soft. It's definitely soft." To Matt Chapman, while the actual going was good to soft. So it's just like, what the fuck? Like, surely it felt like the Clarks at Epsom were trying to save face by saying the description was good to soft, even though it was soft. And even after the second race, I think it was Sam James. I think he won the second race. He said it's like on the soft side. So it was kind of a bit strange, like what was going on, but it was still a very interesting weekend of racing. And for me, punting wise, it was a bit of a learning curve, I think. Yeah, it was not great. Didn't have a single winner. Had winners at Saratoga. That was alright, but yeah, it was quite hard at Epsom, and the track was like average on the first day, but really bad on the Saturday. So yeah, it wasn't great for my bank account, but we live on. But yeah, I'll start off talking about the Diomed Stakes. Obviously won by Seagulls 11. Persica was like really fancied, although I think he drifted a little bit towards the off. But yeah, because he won the race last year and he's like a Group 2 sort of horse. He was really heavily fancied. I know on Twitter, like everyone backed it. And then he got beat by a nose. People were being a bit critical of Sean Levy not being particularly strong in the finish. And then you think about like his rides on Rosalien where, he gets beat by a nose. It's just one of those things, like some jockeys are a bit, I think are a bit stronger in finishes than others. And obviously Shane Murphy is one of the best in the game. He rode countless winners across this meeting. So, he obviously got up on Seagulls 11, who's, he's a pretty good horse. And Hugo Palmer, after the race, said that he could go up to a mile and a quarter. He might go to the, what's that race? It's like I think it's called like the Summer Mile at Ascot. It's a Group 2, so he might go there. But yeah, he's obviously getting a lot better as a 4-year-old. Seagulls 11, obviously owned by a bunch of Brighton players. So that's kind of cool, I guess. But yeah, it was a good race at Diomed Stakes. Really good finish. And then obviously Salau. Wow, what a horse. He's obviously a group horse in a handicap and won by like 5 lengths. So that was very impressive. And I think he's got entries in some Group 3s and Group 2s. So he could be a really nice horse going forward. And then in the Oaks, like bloody hell, thundering on. That was just bloody insane. By Frankel, really nice, like flashy chestnut filly. And she just won so incredibly. And it was such a cold ride by Dylan Brown McMonigal. He just settled her at the back, didn't really panic. And then he just moved through on her. Like it looked like she was levitating almost on that ground as well. That was just so incredible. And I think she got cut to like 10-1 for the Arc, which is understandable because she won like a real, like a proper superstar, like a proper horse. So yeah, she looked amazing. Obviously in that race, I was on in my preview I said that if it was going to be soft, I'd be on Amelia Earhart, and if it was dry, I'd be on Legacy Link, and it was going towards soft. And obviously, Shane Murphy said after the first race it was soft, so I got on Amelia Earhart, and it didn't work out too well. She's just a bit of a pig, that horse, isn't she? Like once she like got to the straight, she just kind of didn't really try very hard. She might have been a bit tired. Although by pedigree, I thought she would have gotten a mile and a half like pretty well. And then Sugar Island ran a massive race too, like running third. Isn't it interesting how Ronan Whelan finished the best out of the Aidan O'Brien horse in both Derby and Oaks? That's quite strange, but yeah, thundering on. She's very nice, and she'll probably go to an Irish Oaks next, then like a Yorkshire Oaks maybe. So yeah, she's pretty good. And then that's about it on the first day that I wanted to talk about. we'll go to the. Also, let's just look at Thundering On's win real quick. Like some of those horses in behind will probably, get a mile and a half better as they progress as 3-year-olds. I like that Watnan filly, but yeah, this was just incredible, and I think this was the first English Classic win for Dylan Brown McMonagle too, so that was pretty cool. All right, now we'll move on to Saturday. Now, this is where the weather absolutely went to shit. I knew someone that was at Epsom, and he just said it was like a terrible day just because of the weather, and it didn't really I could tell from the TV like it was just grim. But yeah, that first race, that Tattenham Corner Stakes, where Never So Brave was the favourite. Never had a hope in hell, that horse. Just got behind, and you had to be like in front on that lane near the near side fence to win. Although to be fair, 10 Bob Tony came up the inside a little bit, but yeah, Never So Brave just never stood a chance. It was pissing down rain. I felt a bit bad for the horse, to be honest. But yeah, 10 Bob Tony wins. He won the race last year. It's actually run at Haydock, the John of Gaunt Stakes, but it had to be moved to here because Haydock's track is, pretty shit. But yeah, 10 Bob Tony wins. Not a great deal to take away from that race, other than it was just a shit race, like with the ground and just everything. And then in the Princess Elizabeth Stakes, Sparks Fly wins, and this was as a result of a very daring ride by Laura Pearson. She went up the inside, saved so much ground. All the other horses went outside, and she went flying up the inside, and she won by about 6 lengths. In this race, I was on Breckenbro just as a little because it's a French trained horse. I thought it might go through the wet better than some of these, but it didn't really fire. She's perfect. Never really looked comfortable from leaving the parade ring to the start of the race. Just seemed very high strung, and that kind of showed in her run. She just didn't run very well. And I'm not really sure where they go with her next, but Sparks Fly obviously built for these sorts of races, and I know in my preview I said that she had no chance, but I also didn't expect Noah's Ark to happen. So it is what it is. We're wrong sometimes, but this was the absolute perfect conditions for a horse like Sparks Fly. Pissing down rain, plenty of juice in the ground, and she absolutely made the most of it in this race, I thought. And to be fair, Pacific Mission being a 3-year-old, she ran a very good race too, I think. Being a bit younger and immature. But yeah, she ran very well, and probably go to a Group 2 or something next with her. But yeah, we'll keep going. We'll talk about the Coronation Cup. Now, this was, oh my God, what a farce. No, it wasn't really a farce, but my biggest bet of the weekend was Calandigan, and my judgment was a bit clouded by the fact that I thought he was world's best horse. He's just going to be fine. He has won on soft ground early in his career, but not in the last year or so. He hasn't. It's only been on good to soft, and that I really should have focused on that a little bit more, because he ran terribly. Francis Henri Graffard before the race was even saying he wasn't sure if he should run him, and that was really my sign to cash out and look for a heavy tracker. I probably would have gone on Lambourne, or I don't know, man. I like Bay City Roller. I think I said in my preview that I like him. I think he's a really nice horse, but my judgment was a bit clouded by the accolades of Calandigan, I guess. But yeah, Bay City Roller, Victorious Racing, who are a Bahrain entity, George Scott, Oisin Murphy. It was just perfect for them. He's obviously a real wet tracker. He won that German Group 1 really well last year, and he just had the best conditions. And Oisin Murphy after the race said that with this ride, he was aiming to go on the tyre tracks that the ambulance and the cars were going on, in between races, because the tyres were pushing down on the floor and making it a bit flutter, that sort of thing. He's just so fucking clever, Oisin Murphy, bloody hell. But yeah, that is just so smart, and obviously won by 10 lengths. Jan Bruegel second, who looked uncomfortable for the entire race, but somehow came second. Lambourne, who I thought was going to win at multiple points in this race, he was just let loose up front. Yeah, I thought he was going to win for a long way. And then obviously Calandigan beaten 26 lengths. That stings a lot, but at least you're going to get a really good price for the King George now, because I think he's going to be a serious player in that race. And everyone's getting excited about Masquerade Ball and stuff, but this is the most easy, like, you can put a pen through this. He's not a wet tracker. He needs fast ground. You can easily just put a pen through this whole performance and then go again in the King George. And yeah, I think if you like this horse, I'm not an anti-post guy, but if you do like this horse, then yeah, King George, I think he's like 3-1. And Masquerade Ball, like, they're good, those Japanese stayers, but it's different over at like Ascot, where it's a little bit undulating, and it's different to Tokyo, which is like tarmac and it's flat. Although you do have that little rise, that's beside the point. But yeah, I think you can easily put a line through Calandigan here. And then Illinois, that was kind of sad to watch, to be honest. He was out of it. He ran about 1,000 meters, if that, and then started going backwards. And you know, he was a really formidable stayer last year. He was once the favourite for the Gold Cup. So yeah, it was kind of disappointing to see what happened there. He must have had an issue or something. I don't know where he's going to go next, but hopefully he's alright. That was yeah, pretty sad to watch. But yeah, Bay City Roller gets a big Group 1 for George Scott. I think that was his first English Group 1. He's one's in France with Caballo de Mar. He's one in Germany. So I think yeah, he'll probably go to a King George next, Bay City Roller. Or maybe like a Grand Prix de Saint Cloud on the way, because obviously he loves a wet track, and he'll probably get that in Saint Cloud. So yeah, that was a really interesting but sad race, to be honest. But we'll move on to we'll just look at wait, hold on. We'll just look at Bay City Roller. Yeah, you can barely even see the screen. I don't know how the caller even called it home, but he's just streaking away, and you can see where the tyre tracks are. Like he's right on with it, Murphy. So yeah, there's a good Group 1 for Bay City Roller. But yeah, we'll continue to the Epsom Derby. And yeah, it was similar to the last race in that it was just pissing rain. Like, you had to be on something that would tolerate a heavy track and have a real like endurance about them. And yeah, Christmas Day, the third stringer for Aidan O'Brien wins, going from the front. And then Benvenuto Cellini, just didn't like the track at all, which I half suspected, and also like I didn't think he'd get a mile and a half, but that was more of an issue with the track, I think, rather than him not getting the distance. But yeah, and then that whole controversy with him like putting his foot up. Oh, it's just, I don't know. I don't want to get into that because I'll just talk about it for fucking like 20 minutes. But yeah, that was pretty strange how he just put his leg up and then they refunded all the bets, even though he just didn't run the trip. Oh fuck, it actually pissed me off. But yeah, Christmas Day wins. Maltese Cross second. My two bets in the race were Maltese Cross and James J. Braddock. So we basically got it right, but obviously Christmas Day has to ruin it for us. And Maltese Cross, like, I thought, being by Sea the Stars out of a German mare, a German staying mare, I thought he would absolutely relish these conditions, and he absolutely did, I thought. And then obviously James J. Braddock ran a massive race. He looked like the winner for, like, coming out of Tattenham Corner into the straight, I thought. He was on the bridle for such a long way. And some of these other, like, exotic ones, like Alderman and Rebel Rocker ran massive races, and, like, they're winning 80 grand for their connections, 50 grand for their connections. Like, it was obviously worth running it in this race to them. And they've run very well. Like, they might have some Group 3 level, listed stayers now as a result. Pierre Bonnard, he was thereabouts. He basically swapped prices with Benvenuto Cellini prior to the race, so that was pretty interesting. Ancient Egypt, like, he was going very well for a long way, but obviously bottomed out on the ground. And then Poker was pretty embarrassing, to be fair. He ran how you'd expect an 80 rated horse to run in an Epsom Derby. And he was beaten after like 1,200 metres maybe. So, pretty stupid move to run him in this race. But yeah, Christmas Day wins the Epsom Derby. Pretty good. I mean, gives off Lambourne vibes again, like the one that wasn't meant to win but had to win because, the favourite was nowhere near. But yeah, it was a good race. Obviously, the track was shit, weather was shit, but it is what it is. We go again. We got Royal Ascot in a week and a half, so that's something we can all look forward to. Hopefully, the weather's a little bit better. But yeah, that was pretty good meeting. If you like these sorts of videos, I do plenty of previews, recaps, that sort of thing. So if you do like this sort of thing, like and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, and I'll see you later.